We had a pretty, I'm going to call it disappointing. I'm going to say it's a disappointing break in the Vagrant Holiday case.
The legend is now kind of dead.
Look how fucking crazy we are, bro.
I just inhaled bang.
Oh! If you kick my seat one more time, you're riding in the trunk.
I didn't even know you had that.
Welcome back to the Hardpoint. My name is Josh. I go by Onexpunchxdad online.
My name's Cody. I go by Cody Romes.
And this is episode 9.
Episode 9. Tony Romo, baby.
Tony Romo, baby.
Woo!
Throwing them bombs.
I just wanted to let you know, last time we talked, it was not New Year's. And I just wanted to wish you a very happy New Year, baby!
Man, whoa! I didn't even know you had that. Yeah. If you're just listening, Cody just whipped out a very phallic, a very suggestive looking device. He pulled a small lanyard on the back and many pieces of confetti and pieces and little tiny fragments came out. He's got one stuck in his hair. I hope he doesn't wipe it away. I hope he leaves it there the entirety of the episode.
You should see my desk right now.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he's snapping a pic.
I forgot this is a partly an audio medium. We're on video, so I kind of assumed everybody would see that. But for all the people listening, not on the video, dude, they're all over my curtains, my floor. It's everywhere.
If you're just listening, not watching, I don't want to undersell. He pulled out. I mean, it was a good like 12 inches. A little party popper, not a little party. It was a big old. It was a big boy. Where do you even get something like that, man?
Ordered it on Amazon.
Oh my God! For this, dude. Money well spent. He sent
Bits
me the
ahoy,
pic,
baby. Bits
he sent
ahoy.
me the picture, and it looks like you asked an AI generator to show you a picture of your child has destroyed your office with Legos or something. It's just there's tiny fragments of color everywhere.
I need a leaf blower.
You gotta call somebody. You gotta call it in. You gotta. They're fucking everywhere. It's 2024. This is the first official. We're in it. We're up in it. 2024 is here. 2023. RIP.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome to the new year. If you made some kind of resolution, I hope you're doing a better job than we are. But yeah. Hey, we're here, man. And this is going to be the first full calendar year of our podcast. Is that crazy to think about?
It really is. I think we've kind of considered up until now like our, I don't know, the entry phase, the entry season, just trying to figure out how to do it in general. And not that we're still not trying to figure things out, but, you know, we're kind of hitting our stride. Man, we're only one episode away from double-digit episodes.
Double digits.
Really wild.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that actually is pretty wild to me. I would like to say I've always been a New Year's resolutions guy for the most part. Like, I feel like this time of year is made for setting goals, looking forward, speaking into existence, that kind of stuff. And I took a little bit of a different approach this year. I did not make any goals. I actually heard something that I thought was really interesting, and it was referring to like setting goals and why that's not necessarily the best idea. And the analogy they gave was like setting a goal is like, here's your sports analogy. Here's our loose sports tie-in.
I'm ready.
Setting a goal, Coach, is like going into a game and staring up at the scoreboard and saying, I want to score 50 points. And you're just staring at the scoreboard, staring at the scoreboard, staring at the scoreboard. Because that's the goal, the end result. When you set a goal, all you're doing is looking at the end result. You didn't make a plan or a roadmap or put systems in place to get there. So instead of setting goals, what you should do is set systems and processes to get you to that goal. So instead of saying, I'm going to go into this game and I want to score 50 points and I'm staring at the scoreboard, you should go into the game preparing, saying, if I do this, 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 and this, all the little things right, by the end of that game, when I look up, I will have 50 points, right? So instead of saying, like for this podcast, I'm just going to make up numbers here. Our goal is 100K subs by the end of the year.
Sure.
Well, saying that and looking at that really does nothing. But if instead I say, I'm going to post a short every day, we're going to release an episode every week, and we're going to cut a clip every week, those are tangible things we can actually do. And at the end of the year, hopefully we look up at the scoreboard and we have 100K subs.
I really like that, because the fun thing about those things that you were saying, like I'm going to post a clip every day or I'm going to shoot an episode every week, those by themselves aren't monumental things, right?
Right.
Like when we obviously the first handful were a little rough, right?
Sure.
But once you get in a rhythm, again, which is really true of anything, whether it's going to the gym or eating healthy meals or maybe not doing a thing, it feels big. But as you do it and you get practice at it, it gets easier. And so it's crazy to me how poignant that is, because the more you focus on, hey, I'm going to do the small routine things right. I'm going to do the small routine things right. I think, like, not to toot our own horn here, but one of the best things that we ever did, and one of the things that, for those of you out there who've ever given some thought to starting something like a podcast, I will tell you, we set one constraint on ourselves, and it was, we are going to do 50 episodes before we ever decide or ever even give any credence to the thought of, this doesn't work, we're going to quit.
Right.
Which is basically saying we're going to do a year. We're going to do one episode committed a week. And I will tell you, episode nuevo, Tony Romo, that feels so achievable. It's so easy right now. And granted, you made the football game reference looking at the scoreboard. It's hard to forecast sometimes that, oh, by the way, I'm kicking at the half. So if I'm behind, there's a good chance I could fall even farther behind.
Right.
For those of you really non-sports people, there's no way to forecast what's going to be dumped in your lap throughout the year.
Right.
So I think it is good to have those little, like, no matter what happens, no matter what comes my way. And we'll talk about what my schedule for the next month is going to look like, which, by the way, is a massive, pivot that we have to work with, which I think will end up being fine by the end of it. But you never know what's going to get dumped in your lap. So those little routine things that you can do right, absolutely, they matter. They matter.
It is. It's about stacking good habits and doing what you can every day. Because I've always been like, I'll set a money goal and a fitness, I want to make X amount of money. I want to weigh a certain amount or look a certain way or be, at a certain point in my life in some aspect. And those are all result-oriented things. But if you don't set a plan, like an actionable path to get there, you're going to get to the end of the year and most likely have not achieved those things. So I didn't set any major goals this year. I set these little breadcrumb daily goals that I can do, where hopefully at the end of the year, I look up at the scoreboard and I'm very happy with, where I'm at in my marriage, with the podcast, with my finances, with my fitness. It wasn't set a goal and just cross my fingers and hope I get there. We're going to fucking get there because we've set a plan to get there. So that's how it's a little bit different for me this year, at least.
Definitely. And I think that's big. Like you mentioned, fitness especially. I want to make it, or just give an encouraging reminder that just because you come into, again, sports reference, just because you come into a game and maybe you're not in the right mindset, maybe you came into 2024 dragging your feet. I feel like most people want to come into a new year chest out, feeling good, feeling confident with all these proclaimed or just really solidified goals. Cody's playing with his confetti. He's trying to shake me. I'm not going to be shaken. I stand unshaken. Red Dead 2. There we go. Can't get away from it. You come into a year, maybe you're dragging your feet. You need to know that what is also true about whatever, a football or baseball, a soccer game, whatever, you can turn it around. You can you can absolutely turn it around in June. You can turn it around in November or December. You can make a life-changing decision to do or to not do a thing that's going to benefit you for the rest of your life any day of the week.
Right.
And that, I think, is something that we put a lot of. I'm a man of seasons. I 100% believe that, energy that gets carried into a year and that gets bought into at the beginning of a year can really affect the scope of the rest of the year. I do believe that. But you can change that. You can alter that. And you can right the ship really anytime you decide to grab the wheel. So so be encouraged by that. If 1 January you found yourself back on the couch eating pork rinds and watching Rick and Morty, the game ain't over, man.
Yeah.
The game ain't over.
It's not like, what is it? Like life insurance or health insurance where enrollment is once a year. And if you miss it, you got to wait till the next year. Like,
Yeah.
you can make that decision.
See
any
you
day
in
of the week.
2025, I guess.
No, Happy New Year. Hey, I got a question for you.
Send it.
And so I told you before this, we had, I don't know, I'd put it as a midday. It was one of those days where I had all this stuff I wanted to get done. It was supposed to be a productive day with me and my wife. We had these to-dos. And, I was like, we're going to cross one off after the other. And at the end of the day, we're going to feel all productive. And It was one of those where, like, we got one of, like, the 5 things done because this place was closed. That place wasn't doing it. This didn't work out, whatever. And one of the things, and this was a really small one, but I was like, I'm going to get a bang for the show. I told you right before I needed some energy, so I was going to go get me a bang.
A Bang energy drink, which are they're getting this rare loot nowadays.
Oh, okay. That's kind of where I'm heading. I went to a 7-Eleven, which is a dime a dozen in the area that I live in the DFW.
Sure. Yeah.
Not a bang in sight. Not a one. And I thought that was strange.
Not a bang to be found.
None. And so I'm like, let's go up the street to Quick Trip, which is my personal favorite gas station.
QT, yeah.
And also like the mecca of fucking energy drinks. They're awesome.
Really?
And they got like 3 whole ass doors top to bottom of just like different energy drinks.
Quick Trip said, "Wake the fuck up, America."
And no bang in sight.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
And I got, dude,
Did you have to go to the beer cooler? Did you have to like walk in the back?
The very bottom row, there was 2 little individual like columns for bangs.
Wow.
And my question is, what happened to Bang? It was not entirely that long ago that I was drinking them on a regular basis. And they were dominating, dude. They had their like own. Yeah. And for one, they've changed their can. I don't know if you can tell.
I hate the all white can, man. I really do. That I don't know what flavor I'm drinking at this point.
It's weird. But what happened? Did I miss something?
So and again, this is another thing. By the way, we posted a short about that whole spiel I had about Black Friday TVs being dog shit or whatever, and people reamed us for that. So to all those people, I want to say that was just a thing I heard. I'm not an expert about Black Friday sales or anything. Y'all are all crazy for jumping in here and trying to talk shit about that to me, but whatever, that's fine. Y'all got time, apparently. Y'all got plenty of time. Here's what I have heard. Here's the scuttlebutt about Bang, is that there was some kind of lawsuit. I don't know if it was about designs or whatever. I don't know what it was about. Sure. Bang got sued, and they lost the lawsuit. And so what we are experiencing is the gradual, rise to prominence and fall of Bang. I'm sure, hey, if you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, jump in the comments and please give us maybe this is our next obsession, the rise and fall of Bang energy drink.
It's pretty interesting, dude. Not that long ago, they were just the king, unstoppable.
You could not throw a rock and not hit a building that didn't have 20 bangs inside.
Right.
You could find them everywhere. They were readily available. Most of the flavors, anytime there were no hard to find flavors. Even the weird ones like Strawberry Delish Kiss. I remember it for a second was kind of like, ooh, it's new. Can you find it? After a while, it was like, oh, it's everywhere too.
Yeah. Funny enough, today there were 2 flavors, and it was that one and Purple Haze.
Purple Haze and Strawberry Delish Kiss, really?
Yeah, I got Purple Haze. That's the one I got, but not the 2 most popular.
No, I would say the quintessential, the Captain America / Iron Man, the Avengers pantheon of Bang flavors for me. Blue Raz was my favorite. That's Captain
was
America,
good.
100%. The Cherry Coke, there was a Cherry Coke one, Cherry Cola one. No, that's good. That's Iron Man. That one's
Cotton
Iron
candy.
Man.
Cotton candy was fire.
Cotton candy is straight cheeks. That was the first one I had, and I remember thinking like, "Bang, all Bang is bad." After that,
Yeah.
Cotton candy is
cheeks as in bad.
No, yeah, it's bad. Yeah,
Okay,
booty
dude, you
cheeks,
got to
like
understand,
ass.
cheeks, that could be either way. That could go either way.
Bad cheeks.
The bad cheeks.
You're the cheek beater, man. You should know this. It's straight ass, dude. And then I'm trying to think of who my like number 3 would be. Probably. What is this skedaddle? The Skittle one.
Yeah.
The Skittle one was
that one's
pretty
good.
damn
Do you
good.
like grape stuff? Do you like the purple haze?
I don't like grape flavored drinks.
Okay, I do.
really don't.
I think grape flavored. It reminds me of like the as a child, the grape soda and the orange soda. You remember
Okay.
those? And
Yeah,
for some
like
reason,
the Dimetap taste and shit.
yeah. The
Yeah.
purple, really good to me. I don't know why.
I like grape flavored candies, but grape flavored drinks. I don't ever. Watermelon is a hard no normally.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I don't like lemon lime. A lot of people find lemon lime refreshing, like the Sprite family of flavors. I'm not a lemon lime kind of guy.
Nah,
But
I agree.
you give me like a fruit punch, so like blue raz. You know, obviously anything blue raspberry is going down the hatch. But yeah, Bang, very interesting. Maybe that's something that's worth a deep dive, man. It's just the rise and fall of Bang energy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was gonna plant that seed. If anybody knows, don't hop in the comments and start blaming Josh for.
If anything, blame me for drinking it all up, because I had a Bang a day for a solid like 18 months. If anything, the reason you can't find Bang in your local grocery store is because I had it. It was in my tummy. I pooped it out. Or peed it out, whatever. But yeah,
what I was about to say went down the wrong hole.
Yeah, okay, that's an important distinction to make. And I've seen this question teed up other places. If you eat soup,
For one, fucking hate soup. I know where you're going. I don't have to stay with nothing.
Stay with me, big dog. If you eat soup, is it going out the B or the P?
It's got to come out the P. It's
But what
liquid.
about the like chicken chunks and the? Is there a fucking like crossing guard in your guts who's like carrots and potatoes this way, broth
He's got the-
this way?
He's like the airplane guy, like that
Yeah.
way.
Just like directing straight. Hell no, man. Come on.
Yeah.
On.
You know, that's one of those things I don't need to know. The body's gonna do what it needs to do, and I'll just I'll remain in my bubble and
Well,
not.
I'll
not
say
know any
this:
better.
I've never pissed a whole carrot, but I've definitely pooped some soup before. So little crossing guards sleeping on the job down there.
Called in sick, didn't have a backup that day.
Oh my god. Okay. We have a pretty important, like, I want to say breaking. It's kind of like we had put the cap on this topic. We around Thanksgiving, around the time of Thanksgiving, we kind of
It's pretty
got
breaking.
onto this thing. Pretty breaking. It's pretty important, but we put the cap on this thing thinking like, no, this is it. This is the end of everything that we're going to find out about this thing. This is all we're going to learn. We had a pretty, I'm going to call it disappointing. I'm going to say it's a disappointing break in the Vagrant Holiday case. And I'm going to let Cody take it because he's the one who found it and revealed it to me. So go ahead, Cody.
All right. So basically, he updated his bio on his YouTube, right?
Which
So
is huge.
It is.
That alone could be the big break.
It really is. You know, there's been conspiracy theories as far as like, you know, from him being dead to captured to in jail to just getting bored, like spanning the gamut. There's been a conspiracy theory about it, and everybody, you know, some of the craziest stuff. And I would agree, it's disappointing the way he worded it. I would say it's a yay boo.
Yeah.
The yay is he's alive. The boo is he's a dick, right?
It's probably 60-40. 40A 60 boo for me.
Right. So he updated his bio, and I was alerted. I don't know if you noticed or not, we got numerous comments on our videos of people kind of informing us like, hey, he changed his bio. That's how I even knew about it.
I did
and
see
I
a couple of those,
went,
actually.
Yeah, went and looked.
After the fact.
And so I'm going to read it. If you haven't heard it, if you have, that's fine. We'll discuss afterwards. So his bio on YouTube reads as the following. I'm done with videos. No more will be posted here. Vagrant Holiday was a side project done purely for fun and not profit. He posts a link to his BitChute. Enter. No need to read further if you're sane. Enter. Do not try to find or contact me for any reason. I owe nothing to anyone. I'm not your friend. I have no idea who you are. If you claim I've saved your life, no, I didn't. You don't know what I have. You don't need to know what I'm doing. It's not your business. If someone not posting on the internet on a regular basis is upsetting or the most mysterious thing you've experienced, I can't help you with your problem. He links to a wiki page called Parasocial Interaction, which in a nutshell is where, like, if you watch a show, or I don't know, it could be anybody, fictional, non-fictional, and you feel an attachment, like your friends, like you know each other, but it's one way, right? They obviously have no idea who you are, but you feel such a bond with them that you feel like you know each other. That's this phenomenon called parasocial interaction. He goes on, there's nowhere else I'll be posting to. Rumors surrounding this channel are most likely made up by attention seekers. If it sounds dumb, it probably is. If it doesn't, you might be the one who's dumb. Go outside. P.S. To those asking if I'm dead, the answer is yes. Funeral was last week. You were not invited. And I sent that to Josh, and he said he sounds like a prick. And I would agree. That's a very dickish thing to say. I would add, it's pretty on brand with all his videos. Like, it's to me, was not the least bit surprising. The surprising part was that he posted it all, not the way that he worded it. Like, he's kind of showed himself to be that guy, like a loner, doesn't really care about other people. And so that none of it came across that surprising to me. It's on brand, to me at least.
I'm going to agree that, yes, it kind of is on brand with who he appeared to be in the videos. I'm going to disagree in the fact that I think it's how he should have responded in that moment. Sure. Here's what I'll say. And granted, I'm not mad at Vagrant Holiday. I'm really not. But this seems like a guy who is completely unaware, or maybe even aware and indifferent about the lives he touched.
Sure.
I was in his camp, and I was like, hey, yeah, fuck it, man. Do your thing. And be as sarcastic or as aloof as you want to be about this, until he mentioned people whose lives that he saved, and he says, no, I didn't. That to me is just feels very flippant and almost irresponsible.
Sure.
Let me make this abundantly clear, and I don't talk about me having a platform or being Onexpunchxdad on this show a ton. I really don't. I don't want the podcast to be about that. That's not what this show is, right? But I'll lean on that for just a second as I make my statement, okay? Nobody puts a video on the internet and thinks, I hope nobody sees this.
Good point.
Nobody puts a video on the internet and thinks, God, I hope people hate this. And if they like it, I hope they feel silly about it. That man, I'm glad he's okay. Or whatever. I'm glad at least someone who is close to him is okay enough to make that statement. Whatever, because apparently he's dead and the funeral already happened, right? What a waste.
Yeah.
I really like that. Seems dumb. Like, he doesn't owe me anything. 100%. 100. It doesn't owe me a thing. Doesn't owe me an explanation. Doesn't owe anyone an explanation, and he very clearly knows that. But what a waste.
Yeah.
What a waste. Not a waste in the sense of like, oh, you could monetize this, bro. You could come back. You could post one video. You could post a short. You could post a 30-second video saying, hey, I'm alive. More coming soon. You could ride that wave all the way to Hollywood, bro. That's not what I'm saying. What a waste in the terms of like, what a waste of a legend.
Right.
If that makes any sense. You very clearly affected people's lives, probably some off camera. There's probably a lot of people who are affected by whatever, the kindness, benevolence, or just whatever, just the mere, presence of Vagrant Holiday being at a thing that the camera wasn't even rolling, that we don't even know about, right? For him to address everything, and maybe it really is like he just said, whatever, like maybe in real life he's a good dude and he's doing good things. This feels like either a scorched earth effort to just get people to leave him alone, in which case it's like there's easier and more couth ways to do that.
Sure.
Or B, he just sucks as a person.
Right.
Straight up. I was disappointed by this, but again, he's free to be who he wants to be. And I'm not, I don't hold, whatever. I think it's great that we covered him. What an interesting, what a captivating series of videos. He straight up gave us a, whatever. How many Vagrant Holidays are there? There's 9, 8 or 9.
8, yeah.
8 total, right? That's a Netflix series.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's a Hulu series, right? He gave us that. He gave it to us. He gave it to us by himself.
Right.
Which is huge. Man, it's like A, you're not proud of that, and B, you're mad at us for enjoying it and wondering if you're okay. I don't know, fuck you, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm glad you're okay. Like a genuine sense of relief that he's okay, followed by like, fuck yourself. Like
right.
why are you so indignant? And I don't know, whatever. That's all I have to say about Vagrant Holiday. That legitimately, I think that caps off everything I feel about that guy.
So I've been thinking about Vagrant pretty much nonstop since he said that. And I do think the timing is pretty wild, given that he started posting in 2017. We discovered him, within the last couple of months or so. And so his total run from 2017 to essentially 2024 being 7 years, for us to have discovered him within 2 months of like his final message ever, I think is pretty wild. Just the timing in general.
It is, and I, I would never say like we were the ones who forced that out of him. I don't care if we were, honestly. It was bigger than that, right? I think if anything, we just caught the tail end. Like Reddit had already.
Sure.
Seems like they had gotten a hold of the legend of Vagrant Holiday, but
I'm very I'm very torn on this and his response, because on one hand, he was doing illegal things, and I think everybody has their right to like their identity not being out there if they don't want it to be. I feel like some people probably were getting extremely close to finding out who he was, or maybe even like found out who he was and was reaching out to him personally.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
And so he might have just been like, dude, like you said, it could have been like a scorched earth, like Hail Mary. People cannot fucking find out. And so I'm going to sacrifice my like image here just to, kind of give a firm response of do not fucking come looking for me. Yeah. And so that could be part of it. But with that being said, also, like you said, nobody posts videos on the internet hoping people don't see them. And he didn't take his videos down. He left them up. And so he wants people to see them. He doesn't want to delete all this work. Like
delete the account if you're so just furious that people are interested in what you've created.
I feel like if he was going to act the way that he was talking, the correct thing would have been to like wipe all his videos and leave a single sentence or two saying like, no more videos will be posted. Do not try to find me. And wipe the fucking videos. Like that.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were really trying to act like the way you're talking, that would have been more appropriate. But you come off as a dick. You kind of go after people who claim that you moved them, right? And make them feel dumb. And then you leave all your videos up.
Yeah.
So it's It's weird. I'm torn. It's on brand. I wasn't surprised, but I just don't know how to feel about it. I don't feel as strongly as you do negatively. I just don't know how to feel. It's very confusing to me.
I do feel negative. I will say this, and this is something that I think if we had ever had a big break, like his face, his name,
Yeah.
definitive, right? We absolutely, I think 100%, if you divulge someone's identity who is very clearly trying to conceal their identity, that is doxing. That is that is a reprehensible practice.
Sure.
We would not have done that if we had found evidence. If we had had a big break. This is just hypothetical because we didn't. Cody, I believe, got probably what I believe is the internet's best look at the back of this guy's body.
Right.
If we had gotten definitive evidence that this is his name, this is who he is, this is his Facebook page, we would not have put that out there.
Right.
And not that I do believe we were a lot of people's inroad for this. I think we were. I think we maybe elevated this to maybe a different audience than what it already had on Reddit and YouTube. But suffice it to say, if we had found that out 100%, would we have reached out individually and asked him? I would have. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
I would have, hey, are you Vagrant Holiday? Real
Right.
talk.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We wouldn't have been like, well, here it is. We've got him, folks.
Right.
We never would have done that. I'm not saying that to like wash my hands and say, oh, we didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
We didn't. You put videos on the internet. We thought they were rad.
Right. You talked about them.
We didn't know if you were alive.
Right.
And so we talked about that too. And yeah, and apparently he's mad about that. So
I wish he would have never said anything. I don't know. I think somebody was getting close to him, honestly. And that's why he put the message out. But to me, the legend is now kind of dead. He's alive and he's 100%. An asshole. But before, you didn't know.
Yes. That is exactly it. Like before it was straight up like you were Batman. You were fucking you were Daredevil. And now you're
just an asshole.
Oh, you're just another asshole who doesn't understand the internet. Like straight up. Like it's like people like, hey, don't make mean comments. Like you are not in charge on the internet. No one is in charge on the internet. That's why the internet is such a fucking hellscape. Don't post really, really interesting and captivating content, illegal though it was, whatever.
Right.
And then get mad at us that we're like, hey,
this is really cool. Yeah.
What happened to him? We should have a conversation about that because we have 8 episodes of a Netflix series, basically, of all this data that could point any different direction. Don't get mad about that. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Raising people's interest. No, I mean, raising people's interest and getting people excited about something and then kicking them in the balls for being excited about what you created. It's just, I don't know. There's something about that that's not right.
And again, this may be, again, we've said it, this will be the 3rd time. Maybe this is some scorched earth effort to like, maybe he legitimately is someone of like, maybe he's like a congressman or something. He's like, I can't let people know that I sneak into the Forbidden Islands and stuff in my free time. Maybe he is legitimately, this is something like to desperately try to throw people off his trail. I don't know. This just shows an immense lack of like humility or appreciation for what you've achieved to the point like as a fellow creator, I'll say like, I wouldn't be your friend out here in the making stuff space. We wouldn't, I don't know. I
was going to ask you, and you kind of already answered this question, and I realize how conceited this sounds, so realize I'm simply raising the question, but do you think we had anything to do with this?
I think we maybe have a slice in that pie. I don't know. Like I don't want to inflate. Like again, like I love what we've done. I think we had a video talking about Vagrant Holiday that did really well on TikTok. You know, it very successful, and a lot of people saw that. And there's no way that number doesn't indicate that a fraction of that was people's inroad into this, right? That was people's the hook that grabbed their lip. But I don't it's not about us, right? Like
Right.
it's not like it's about this guy. Like he is 100 was 100% like a legend, like doing pretty legendary things and being very brave. You know, I want to
Yeah.
make that clear. Like I think the most interesting thing about Vagrant Holiday is how brave he is.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
not afraid, and maybe that's a part of it. Maybe that's the other side of this coin. Is he is so brave that he will realize he has an entire captive audience, and he will stand on the stage and just like all of you.
That is kind of that
All of you.
punker attitude. Just does not give a fuck. You know.
Cool. That's so cool, man. No one's ever done that before. Holy shit, man. When people have a platform and they use it like a spoiled brat, and that's 100% what this is. And he can, I don't know, he looks like he's 120 pounds soaking wet, so he can come find me if he's mad about it. When people have a platform and they have an opportunity to influence people, even for things that I don't agree with, whatever, fuck it. If he
Right.
wants to influence people and say like, hey, you know, here's a thing that I care about, here's a thing you should support, for them to stand on the stage and just be like, nah,
Right.
I don't like that y'all liked the thing I made.
Right.
Fuck you, man.
And his dude, his videos were not minimum effort. It required
No.
him going across the globe and sleeping in the fucking bush.
Was he editing the videos like, I hope nobody watches this shit?
Right. Yeah.
If anyone watches it, I'll be angry.
The effort put in was. It's difficult to explain. Yes, between the editing
Yes.
and the traveling and what he endured for a month and a half at a time to put this
Doesn't
stuff
add up,
together,
bro. Doesn't
and then
add
to be
up.
mad that people like, yeah, it really. Yeah, I think we're kind of. I agree. It's disappointing.
feel like we're trying-
I wish
I
he would
feel
have
like-
never said anything.
Yeah, I think if he had just been like quietly recede, like do the Homer Simpson into the bush, like
Yeah.
do that. Don't come out and be like, oh, by the way, I suck. Like that, he could have literally just like that could have been his entire YouTube post and been like, hey, I'm awful.
Yeah.
I'm pretty insufferable as a human. Anyway, yeah, cool. Glad you're okay, man.
Yeah.
Maybe don't make any more videos. We don't want you to. 100% don't.
Thanks for the content, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
Well, interstitial time.
not. Interstitial. Let's go.
Where do you want to go? I think we were supposed to talk about like last year and this year. Did you have any thoughts on just like last episode we talked about our favorite media of last year? Did you have any like look backs, highs, lows, anything personally from last year that you wanted to put out there?
Did I upset you with how angry I got at Vagrant Holiday? I need to ask that.
No, dude. No, I don't fucking know him, and I'm not on his side, bro.
You
So
did
it's
kind
all
of a
good.
downtrodden, like look down, look right, look down. I just need to know that. But I love that we covered that on the show. I will never regret that. That was a very interesting topic. I was enthralled by that. I just need to know that you're not angry, that I'm angry, that he's a prick in real life.
I'm not. What I'm feeling is a lot of different thoughts about it, and I'm having trouble
Reconciling all
conveying
that. Yeah.
what I'm fucking thinking. Like I feel all these things, and I'm thinking all these things, and for some reason I'm having a really hard time putting it into words. You know, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe I haven't chewed on it long enough. No, nothing at you. You're entitled to the way you feel, and a lot of the stuff you're saying, I second that. Honestly, I do.
Okay.
I'm just having a
just
hard
need to-
time like wording a lot of this.
I needed to hear that from you because I think I got a little bit more upset at that as I talked about it. It's one of those things like you hear about something, you're like, oh, I don't like that. And then you start talking about it and you're like, I really don't like that. So
No,
yeah.
I'm glad you had an opinion because I was mostly indifferent, and I think somebody needed an opinion, and I sure didn't fucking have one. So I'm not mad at you, bro. I promise.
Okay.
I'm not on his side. Me and him ain't nothing. So
that's good. Well, since that's true, fuck Vagrant Holiday. No, I'm just kidding. No. We're done. I'm glad. I legitimately am glad he is alive. That is
yeah,
a relief. And that's the end
it's
of that.
weird. It's a complicated feeling.
It really is, man. He didn't make it any easier for me. 2023, yeah. We talked about like mediums, like movies, video games, and stuff that dropped in 2023. I will say, as a year, looking back, it wasn't a bad year. I had a lot of, for anyone who follows me as Onexpunchxdad, I will say it was a big shift as far as the content that I make and the frequency I make content. That's a big part of my life is the content I make. I think I kind of tapped into what I really want to do with that in terms of what I want it to be, which is not just making TikTok content or just making, like lip sync videos where I find some audio that I think is fun and I just, act over that. I think I want to do more to tell stories or to make people laugh. And I think 2023 was a huge year for that. Got to meet up with a lot of great creators. It was an important year for me, but I also felt like it was a precursor to what is going to be a much bigger year. And I say that 100% talking about, our podcast. Cody and I have been talking about a lot of other media that we want to produce together as far as, like videos for YouTube, just general stuff we want to make. But yeah, 2023 felt like an on-ramp to 2024. And I feel so legitimately excited for this year because of last year.
There you go. Yeah, I would like to say I'm excited for what we have going here. On a separate note, I'm specifically excited for you to see where you take the One Punch stuff next year. Because you kind of had a meteoric rise last year. And I'm excited to see like the next step, like 1 year from now, like where's your stuff at? Because you blew up, and I'm excited to see like chapter 2, like where's the next place that you're gonna go?
I do feel excited too, man. And again, followers or having a lot of followers. I know a lot of creators out there who have, and I don't mean this as some kind of like condescending comment, but they have a fraction of the followers I have, but their community engagement and their fan. What happened?
Oh God,
dude. Did you suck it down the wrong hatch?
I just inhaled Bang.
Oh! Wait, was it Bang or Truly?
It was Bang. Oh.
Are you okay? Hold on. Everybody stop.
Do I look okay? Look
You
me in
look
my
like
eyes.
you got hit. You look like you got hit. You look like you took a hit, bro. You okay? You good? You good, cuz?
Oh my God. I think Bang
Man, I was
went
in
to
the
my-
middle of a heartfelt thing. I was like, stop. Hey. What did
Bang
it
went
feel
to
like?
It went into my lungs.
Is the air grape flavored right now?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Do you need a minute? Dude, it got him. Oh my God.
Is this good content?
We're clipping that shit.
Wow. Sorry, people.
Can you smell colors right now?
Smell. I can hear colors.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. That's 2 weeks in a row that I've ruined your heartfelt moment.
This is so much better than me just grandstanding and talking about. No. Trust
Dude.
me. Trust me. No one wants to listen to me talk about like heartfelt bullshit.
I do. That's why I brought it up. Oh
I like this,
God.
man. This is more entertaining to me. You all right, buddy?
This is gonna lose us subs.
No.
Okay. I think I'm good. I
Agua?
still feel. I like Bang in my throat.
When you suck something down the wrong tube and you can still feel like that little milliliter of the thing in your, it's like in your lung, just like sloshing around, and you're trying to like
keep like yeah. That's what I have right now.
Can I say I didn't give it enough like attention when we were together last time, but you got the hiccups while after we recorded the last episode we did live and in color, and you did the homie move, and I'm pretty sure it cured your hiccups. But you took a cup of water, filled it up with water, and you drank it backwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how I know we're bros, man. Did it work?
That's one of the only. It did. It's one of the only things I've ever tried that actually work. Like holding your breath does not work.
No,
Whatever else I've tried, it doesn't work. But if you do, drink it upside down backwards, it cures it every time.
I don't know what about that. Maybe it's a placebo effect, but it's been very effective for me. But yeah, you did that unprompted, and I was like, be a real one for that.
Dude. Low key, like the hiccups, if you can't get rid of them and they're ongoing,
ass.
Yeah.
It's
really
like
annoying.
imagine someone's just gonna like tap you really hard on the shoulder.
Like a punch on the shoulder like that every.
Like not a painful one, but just like enough to like. It's like when I'm driving, you'll find this out soon in the next couple of years. When I'm driving and my youngest daughter sits behind me in the car seat in the family car, and she will kick my seat, and it's like it's not a big, it's not like hitting a speed bump, but it's like it's enough of a nudge that I'm like, if you kick my seat one more time, you're riding in the trunk, 100%.
Oh my God.
No, so what was I going to say? I just want to say, yes, as One Punch Dad, I don't talk about that stuff very much on the show, but yes, very grateful for the 2023 I had, and I'm very hopeful for 2024. Obviously, this is such a huge part of that, and if you're watching and you've come from One Punch Dad, I'm very grateful for that. I have numerous times talked to Cody about I want this to be the beginning of something that stands on its own. I feel like a lot of creators do try to say like, well, I'm popular on TikTok, so now I can have a popular podcast and be a famous Twitch streamer and I can do all the other stuff, right? That's not true. That's folly. This podcast has been work, and a lot of that work has been done really outside of the umbrella of like, hey, one of us has a TikTok following. Like this is 100% feels like, work, but I'm very hopeful. I feel very grateful to have someone like Cody to do it with, because Cody's a worker and he makes it easy and fun to do with. He's very much anything that I don't feel capable of. He's swooped in and covered the gap.
Sweeped in.
So yeah. And I really do feel like even just saying like, this is a podcast is reductive, because I do see this growing into something bigger than just that. I think, we really are trying to approach it like a business, and not that, we're just kind of doing it free of charge right now. Legitimately, we're not monetized or anything as of this record, and it's just something that we we're really doing to try to kind of grow it into that, but ultimately, it's something I'm really excited about for 2024. As just speaking, me personally, for sure.
No, I agree with all that. Last year, for me personally, was a very, very volatile year. I had some very, very highs, some very, very lows, and I think what I'm God forgive me.
Get all that bang out of there. Get it.
Good Lord. I feel like I'll
haze
talk
in the lung, baby.
Yeah, seriously. I what I'm hoping for this year is to simplify, but be able to pour more into less, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Last year, I left a job that I had been at for 7 years and started a new one that was a better fit for me, but that's always kind of a scary unknown.
That was a big conversation.
It was a big one. My wife and I got pregnant, so found out I'm going to become a dad that same year. We started this podcast, which, like you said, it's a lot of fun. It's one of my highlights each week. There is a lot that we put into it, though. So there's that. We were able to take some really nice vacations last year, honestly. We went to Hawaii. We went to Spain. We went to Nashville, Colorado. Like, it was a good travel year for us. Met some good friends. You and I saw Metallica. That was a staple part of my kind of adult life so far.
Milestone, man.
A lot of highs. We had some lows. We had some tragedy, an unexpected loss on my wife's side of the family that was really tough. I got in a car wreck and totaled my car this year. For all the highs. Go ahead.
I was going to say that happened like almost immediately following the tragedy you talked about, which was also motor vehicle related. And it was like, I remember thinking like, dude, there's only so much someone can take. But your resilience in that season was really impressive to me, man. I want to say that without divulging too much, but obviously the tragedy itself was pretty devastating.
They were too close together. That and my car wreck were far too close together.
They really were. And I specifically was thinking like, man, it reminded me of just like kind of like sometimes you can't quite reach out and touch the grief or the stress of the people in your life, but it's very important to try to stop and really like access the grief and the stress of the people in your life. I think, and that was a moment where I kind of stopped and was like, I need to stop and kind of access that for Cody for a little bit and really not meditate, not dwell on it necessarily, but just like make sure I understand it, because you are a key person in my life. So that was the thing where I was like, I don't necessarily need to take that onto myself and feel it for him, but I need to consider it for him, and then maybe as a byproduct consider how to be available for him in that as a fractal kind of.
And you were a key person, kind of getting through that time period, and so it just a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And I remember, so you and I and both of our wives spent New Year's together last year. And when we were all at the bar, you were asking what our resolution was.
I do.
And my resolution for last year was peace. So 2022 going into 23, my resolution and my goal and my kind of mantra for the year was peace. And last year, while not all bad, was anything but peaceful. Giant sweeping changes and moves in my life. And I think what I'm hoping, and a lot of that was out of my control, but what I'm hoping for 24 is to be able to focus on my marriage, being a dad, becoming a dad, my new job, my career that fits my life very well, and this podcast. And so, like I said earlier, like being able to pour more into less is really what I'm focusing on this year. Take the 4 or 5 biggest things in my life and be able to kind of drown everything else out and just key in on those things and see how far we can take them this year.
Like I really, again, like trying to kind of consider where you're at. The year I became a father was such a huge year, man. It really was.
Yeah.
Like, it does change you, man. Like it does. And again, it's not in the sense like I will be the first to admit I'm a giant kid. I'm a 35-year-old kid, man. Like 80% of the decisions I make are made from the same brain that I made decisions as a 14-year-old kid. Straight up, like, there's still a lot of immaturity in there, and I want to encourage you, like, having a child doesn't change that, but it's such a big shift, man. I feel so excited for you and for Taylor and for your family, man. It really is. It is a big adjustment. But it is so rewarding in a very unique way that I really just can't put it into words, man. Like there's nothing I can say about becoming a father that anyone else hasn't said before, other than the fact that, like, you will consistently feel like you are failing. You will consistently feel like you are not mature enough or working hard enough or bringing in enough bacon. I will tell you that the biggest, juiciest, saltiest piece of bacon you can bring for your wife or your kids is your presence.
Sure.
And that really has probably been one of the biggest lessons I took out of 2023 is, my making videos and my army stuff, my military stuff that I do in real life, my real job, both bring in money. They bring in our whatever. It's how I care for my family, but those could go away. at any drop of the hat, and the feeling that I blew my flesh and blood children or my flesh and blood wife off for those things that could dwindle and die in a second. You know, those are the things that matter. So as whatever. I don't typically impart wisdom, but I will impart to you, like,
I'll take it. I will take it.
Before you, and I also say this as your partner in the Hardpoint. Let this podcast dwindle and die before you let your relationship with your impending daughter and your beautiful wife die. 100%. Sure. Family must come first in all aspects. So I'm glad. I think you're going into this year with the right mindset, and much. I mean, you're not old, but much older than I was when I became a father. So seemingly a lot wiser, and I feel excited for you, man.
We'll see. I'm going to lean on you. I'm sure I'll have plenty of questions. So.
Lean away, man. I will tell you. So, Cody, a lot of you listening don't realize this, but Cody and I come from a fairly traditional family. My dad raised 3 kids and changed maybe 3 diapers the whole time. That ain't the way no more.
His dad had scene control. Major scene control.
Dude, that dude was just in charge of his domain in a way that, I will tell you, I'm probably in the tens of thousands deep of diapers. After 4 kids, we had a strict "he who smelt it dealt it" rule, which essentially you smell the poop, you detect the poop, you deal with the poop. So there was no like, hey, can you change so and so? They pooped.
Sure.
No. You smelt it dealt it. So but that is far from the most challenging aspect of being a father. I will say all my kids are out of diapers and the challenges have not stopped, but it's fatherhood is involved in 2024, man. It is 100% like I think we joked about like the fact that like back in the 60s, like you'd be out in the waiting room with like a glass of whiskey and a cigar being like, it's a boy, fellas. Like that shit's over. One thing I do want to kind of broach moving into the new year. This next month, January, I will be on the road for the entire month, really. It's not something that I really planned on. I have a course coming up that's actually a big opportunity for me. I don't really want to get into that right now because I don't think it's anything that anyone would understand or care about. But I will be at Fort Liberty, North Carolina for the next 4 weekends. So we are going to be continually doing the virtual episodes. Fortunately or unfortunately, hopefully that's not a big detractor for you guys. I know there's a lot of podcasts I listen to that when they don't have a guest or they are doing it under certain constraints, it's kind of like, I don't know if I like these episodes as much. I hope that's not been a big detractor for you guys. Like I don't want to try to pretend like that doesn't exist. It's very much like, I get it, you know?
Right.
Especially if you're watching the video component. Cody and I have, obviously we have a lot better chemistry when we're right in front of each other. So, we got to do what we got to do. We're doing what we can, and it's called a pivot, baby. But we're gonna do the next couple weekends. I will be down there at Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg. Hey, if you're out there and you see me out in the wild, it'd be awesome to shake your hand, say hello, maybe snap a pic or something. And then coming back from that, I think we've got a pretty good plan in place to get a lot more live and in color episodes. Yeah. We're working on. You can see, Cody's kind of working with a very beautiful, though it is, kind of blank canvas behind him. But we are giving a lot of thought in 2024. Speaking of kind of forecasting and vision casting for 2024, about a set, a legitimate kind of set for the show. I can talk about, I guess, a little bit. Before we really started this show, I got to had the privilege of being on the Unsubscribe podcast, which was a good time. Shout out, good dudes. Had an excellent time. And they really just have a great set. And that was just something that I was really inspired by. And that was something that I feel like people feel excited when they walk in and they see the environment that they podcast in as being really exciting. So, yeah, we're working on that. We're working on a schedule that kind of facilitates doing a lot more episodes where we are face-to-face and not virtual. But that said, we will probably never miss a week. One of us will probably fall dead before we miss a week. I'll give you that solemn promise.
That's our commitment to you.
It's our commitment to you, the people. But yeah, so I'll be on the road. Kind of stinks from the podcast format perspective, but maybe a plus. Hey, if you're in the Fort Liberty, Fayetteville, North Carolina area, and you see me out in your city, somewhere out in your hood, say smile for me, Daddy. That was a. Do you remember that song?
No.
No, you remember "Grills" by Nelly?
Oh,
If you see me in
yeah.
your city, somewhere out in your hood, say smile for me, Daddy. What you looking
Okay,
at?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a reference from like
see your
2007.
grills. I want to see your what? Yeah.
Wanna see your
grills.
what?
Yeah, grills.
Hey, let me just say the Paul Wall rap from that went so hard for no reason. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of all I had to say about that. I'll be on the road, so we'll be doing a few more virtual episodes, but 100% we're not missing a week. You can look forward to a hot, ripe hardpoint.
The only difference, the quality is going to be the same. The schedule will be the same. Probably the length and format will be the same. The only difference will be Josh's backdrop, essentially.
Yeah,
for the
I'll be in
listener,
a
right?
hotel.
For the viewer.
I am gonna bring like a pink light bulb or something, something to. Hey,
you go.
whoa, hey, we're not like other podcasts. We're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah. So looking forward to that.
Oh, and thanks for everyone that joined our Discord. The activity in there is really cool, actually.
Thank you for that. Yeah. We just stood that up. I think we actually established it the night that we did our Christmas episode a couple weeks ago. But yeah. Come over to that. We'll link to that in the description in both our YouTube and our audio components.
We can
but
hang out.
We can hang. You can interface with us. We will talk to you. We are not too big for our britches. We will come in there and answer your questions. Speaking of questions, though, I think we got some write-ins. Do we not?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We definitely do.
All right. You want to lead us off?
If I would have been a little bit more prepared, I would love to. Let's see.
Sorry, cut you off
Are
guard.
we no. Are we in podcast questions? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to start with the venomous animal one?
Oh yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
People put questions in other ones, I think, but we'll just go off the ones that are in the questions one for now. Okay. Number one from Padre Boplo.
Padre Pablo.
Padre Boplo.
Pablo.
Cheap
doesn't
tongue
roll.
roll. Cheap tongue
There
roll.
you go. That was good.
Here's the first question to the Discord. Congratulations. You get a round of applause.
Hey, thank you, mate.
That was
Padre
for
Bop-
nobody except Padre Boplo. That was just for you, buddy.
Padre Pablo.
If you
What do you
guys
got?
had to pick one venomous animal to keep as a pet, what would it be?
Wow.
I think I know.
You go. If
Seeing
this is
that- I
the
feel like-
waiter's at the table, and you go first because I don't know what I want to order yet.
I feel like this is a trick question. I am not a big fan of like animals in general. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna try and pick the least imposing animal. So give me one of those tiny ass little frogs that's like the size of a quarter that apparently can kill you upon contact. And I'm gonna put it in an airtight 12-inch thick concrete fucking slabbed container in my basement, and that'll be it.
So you like a poison dart frog, pretty much.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Something tiny and something I can tuck away, because he didn't give me a choice to say no. And I'm assuming I have to pick one, so I'm trying to pick the smallest, like lowest
Like
threat one.
least consequential. If it dies, you can just like put it in a little Ziploc bag and toss it.
Yeah. And if I stumble upon it, then I'm not gonna freak out like I would a snake or something, or a spider.
Right.
Yeah. There's my answer. Good question. Unique.
I'm racking my brain here, man. I really am racking my brain because
I feel like is he asking like, is he assuming that people want a venomous animal, and you're trying to pick the coolest one?
So fun. Not to blow Padre out of the water here. Padre Boplo, who's in our Discord, is from Australia, which I assume
okay.
Venomous animals for people in Australia are probably as common as, I don't know, house cats in America. Like it seems like I don't know much about Australia. I've never been there, but I would assume that finding a venomous animal probably not a huge feat for them.
Sure.
I don't want any kind of snake. I fucking hate frogs. I will never have a frog. I don't trust frogs. I'll kill a frog. I don't even know. Like, probably like, are there venomous fish?
I was just thinking that. I'm gonna say no, but I also have no idea what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say the question is essentially. I know I'm saying venomous, probably like the biggest keyword here, but if the question is like owning an animal that would kill me and eat me with delight, if it could, I would probably have some piranhas, which are not venomous.
That's not venomous.
I know it's not venomous. I understand that piranha are not venomous, but like that's probably the closest I would get to like having an animal that like if you put your hand in here, I will eat it for lunch.
Is an acceptable answer none? Like I don't want one. I'm good. You can have it.
I feel like owning a venomous animal makes such a statement about who you are as a person. And that's not who I am.
Well, I would like to be clear. I don't like frogs. I was trying to pick the smallest, least imposing one I could think of.
Dog. I don't want to have a cat.
No.
I definitely don't want to have an animal that if I feed it wrong will kill me. Am I wild for that?
No.
Okay. I needed to hear that. Thank you.
You're good. I'll give you a pass. I'll give you a pass.
Okay.
Let's
sorry,
move on.
Padre. Maybe a boring. Okay, I'll do the next one. Fazzello, again from the Discord, asks, what's your favorite dinosaur and why?
Thanks, Fazzello. I'll let you go first if you have an answer.
Well, I'm going to say I hope Fazzello is not some kind of like staunch like dinosaur enthusiast, because the only real dinosaur, dinosaur, if you will, because really the only like tacit dinosaur knowledge I have is from Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park.
Sure.
If I could be one perspective, Velociraptor. Like they are absolutely the ninja of dinosaurs. They are fast. They're really sneaky. They're lethal killers. They have whatever, like the best vision, the best smell or sense of smell, whatever. Yeah, Velociraptor. It'd be cool to be a Velociraptor if I had to like own one as a pet. And again, don't want a pet. Venomous or otherwise. I don't know. I kind of like the kind of docile, like the big, like the Brontosaurus, like the
with the necks.
Yeah, the welcome to Jurassic Park, and they're like, eating the top part of the tree, making whale noises. If I had the appropriate facilities, I would say maybe one of those.
Appropriate facilities.
Well, I got
really
understanding
tall
that's
ceilings.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I need 10-story ceilings and 9-story trees that they can eat.
I feel like I know less about dinosaur. I was gonna give the incredibly generic answer of
T-Rex.
The T-Rex. Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So
mainly because I can only name like fucking 3 dinosaurs anyway.
What are the other 2?
The long neck and the one that can fly.
What are they called? What are their names?
I'm pretty sure Velociraptor, because you just said it, right? Is that the one that can fly?
No. That's a
What's a
pterodactyl.
velociraptor?
You're thinking of pterodactyl.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the long neck's called. I call it long neck.
Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus or
What's a
Apatosaurus.
velociraptor then?
That's the little human-sized ones that have. Yeah,
Like that?
exactly. Do it again. I didn't hear it quite right.
That was a one. No, that was a one and done. You can run the tape back if you want to hear that again.
Roll the tape. We need to go to the tape on this.
Okay,
Yeah,
those are pretty cool.
okay.
The fly ones are pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Fucking big.
Well, I feel like I don't know. Is the question my favorite in terms of just my favorite or my favorite? Like, I guess the question is not which one would you want to have as a pet.
No, just the favorite. Don't overthink it.
I don't-
Just what's your
I don't-
favorite
yeah.
dino?
I'm mixing the last question with this question. I mean, it'd be cool to be like an airborne predator, I guess.
Yeah,
could dig that.
I'm going to stick with T-Rex. It's like if you asked me my favorite shark, I'm probably saying great white. Like it's just the most badass.
Yeah.
You know,
If anyone comes in and is like, oh, well, actually, the tiger shark is like, you're a nerd at that point. It's great white, man.
yeah, T-Rex submitted. Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Accept
All
it.
right,
All right.
let's move on.
You're next.
With
You're next.
a great name, Pizza Lord.
Pizza Lord.
My dog, Pizza Lord.
We bow
Thanks for
before
writing
thee.
in. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen a more fraudulent movie than Rebel Moon. All that hype over the last 2 years, and we get this. Forget if the movies are good, you will get part 3. I don't even really want part 2. Thoughts? Boy, I think I butchered that. I'm sorry. I get the gist of it. I haven't.
No punctuation detected in that. So maybe I don't think you were the butcher. I think you were just the consumer at that point.
I was trying to come up with the. Yeah, go ahead. Give your thoughts, Josh.
No, hey, great question, Pizza Lord. In terms of Rebel Moon, I want to say 2 things. One is I fucking hate that Star Wars is like the ruling IP. I think that's dumb. That is like the lens through which we have to look at all of our sci-fi and all of our action movies and think like, is it as good as?
Sure.
And it's very. I don't know if you're tracking this, but Rebel Moon is basically it was a script for a Star Wars movie that didn't end up becoming a Star Wars movie, and so Zack Snyder, who made the Justice League and a bunch, several other movies, he made Man of Steel, he made The Watchmen, he made Dawn of the Dead, a lot of other movies, but
Sure.
took that and said, well, let's strip out all of the Star Wars IP and let's just make it a standalone space story.
Sure. I didn't know that. That's some good context.
Okay. Well, maybe that's important context.
Yeah.
There, from everything, I will, full disclosure, I haven't seen it. It was not on our radar. It was not something that Cody or I forecasted as being something that we're excited about watching in 2024. The initial impressions that don't surprise me one bit are it is like someone took a Star Wars movie and just changed all the names around. and you can very much tell that and detect that. Like you can swap out all these, like, oh, well, that's the Empire. Oh, well, that's Luke Skywalker, clearly.
Sure.
So that makes me pretty bummed out. I feel like Zack Snyder, who is a great filmmaker, is consistently the victim of either he's making projects like Sucker Punch that are really just a little bit too like, hey, we're going to give you full creative control. And then he makes a huge hunk of shit like Sucker Punch. Or he's trying to make something for the studios, i.e. like Batman versus Superman or, Justice League, where it's like,
Right.
hey, you're very creative and visionary director, but we have this very specific set of rules that you have to follow and make. I don't really feel like that dude has ever really found like his sweet spot. I liked 300. 300 was really good. That's a movie that this guy's made.
Okay, I didn't know that was him. Good movie.
Yeah,
Great
that's
movie.
it's a great movie. I don't know if it holds up going back to it. It's very, very, very evident going back to that 16, 17 years later and realizing that that whole ass movie was shot in front of a green screen.
That's why it looks so weird, right?
It almost looks like you're watching, like watching it now. It almost feels like you're watching a play. That is how green screen heavy that movie is. Like you're watching a play on a stage. I just don't. I don't know if I feel excited or excited about this series or surprised that it did badly. And obviously, like a part 2 or part 3 is not going to entice me at all. I don't know. Do you have any like point of reference for this show at all, or?
I've heard a lot about it. I have not seen it. Anything that I've heard about it has been negative. So my dad, he's a huge movie buff, and I hear
big sci-fi guy too. Yeah,
big sci-fi guy, and he told me, not good, disappointing. Basically, exactly what Pizza Lord here is saying was kind of word for word what my dad said as well about it. Just disappointing. Like, you get hyped up over a multi-year span, and it just ends up being disappointing.
Yeah.
I've seen Reddit posts pretty much saying the same thing. So I haven't seen it. I was aware of it, not necessarily kind of the context that you provided. I wasn't aware of that. But anything that I've heard about it has been negative. And so I kind of scratched off my list. I think I would have watched it. I'm into sci-fi stuff.
And we talked about like we're not afraid of FOMO here, and we're not afraid of a bad review. Like I like plenty of things that reviewed poorly.
Sure.
But this
when the overwhelming consensus is bad, like one bad review or half bad reviews isn't going to deter me, but 100% across the board bad reviews, generally that will sway me away from seeing it.
And especially like for me, the deal breaker is like, oh, it's pretty much Star Wars, but they just had to like, for legal reasons, had to like swap out like it can't be the Empire, it's got to be whatever. Like,
do you think that it would have been better had people not known that? Like that seems like some negative context.
I think it would have been better if they'd have told the original story instead of saying like, oh, well, that story's probably also fun if you just swap out the names.
That's just like taking out, like using somebody else's trash and trying to rebrand it. It's in the trash for a reason.
It really is, man. I don't know. Anyway, I just can't get behind a Rebel Moon. I don't know. All right, Steven. That's his name on Discord, just Steven.
Hi, Steven. Thanks.
Man, good for you for locking down that very very normal username on the Steven from Discord. I've only used Discord once, so not super up to speed on it. So I will post my show question here. Either of you ever played Borderlands? Borderlands 2 was one of my best was one of the best stories ever written. IMHAO, which is in my honest opinion. And the DLC Bunkers and Badasses was amazing. I know for a fact you also have never played a Borderlands game.
How do you know that for a fact?
Because you would have told me if you had played a Borderlands game.
I never played it. I've never played one. It always looked really. It's kind of like the.
So can we stop and back up and say that you're right? I've never played a Borderlands game. Don't just zoom on past the fact that I was right.
You said that very confidently, so I wanted to hear your reasoning.
I know your body. If you played a Borderlands game, I would know. Have you played Borderlands ever?
No.
Okay.
I just
what?
Man, I don't know. I just wanted to ask why you thought that, and then yes, you're right.
I know you. That's why. That's why you're my co-host here. Because when someone's like Borderlands, I'm like, him? Nope. Me? Nope. Next question.
What if I came out? Okay. If I came out and said Borderlands is actually my top 3 favorite games of all time?
I would have been like, you're lying. You're lying. You've hidden this from me your life long. Why?
I've never played Borderlands. It had that artistic style that was really cool. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I remember like the crazy character with like the goggles or whatever on the front. I remember it kind of looking like Mad Max-ish. Am I off there?
Yeah.
Ish.
No, yeah. Same kind of like dystopian, like end of the world.
Yeah.
Psycho
was it
vibe,
like a single? I don't even know. I know what it is. I'm aware of it. I don't know what it is. Let me put it like that.
It is like a single player, I think.
Story? Like story
Loot and shoot. It is like go. I don't know. I never played a Borderlands game. Let me say this. No one has ever been able to successfully tee up this game in a way that's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, that sounds fun. No aspect of this game. It sounds like some edgelord, not that fun, single player, a world that's bigger than it needs to be game. 100%.
Sure. With not a lot of story. I feel like something like that needs some sort of like story aspect to kind of drive it through. If it's simply you're in this world and you're running around
this
killing
dude is saying
and looting,
Borderlands 2 is one of the best stories ever told. Steven of Discord, the Steven of Discord, is saying that Borderlands 2 is one of the best stories. And I'm not, Steven, I'm not standing here trying to tell you that you're wrong. I really am not. I require immense convincing, if that's true.
yeah. And it's quite old at this point, right?
Yeah, I think Borderlands 2 is 10 years old. It's old. It's been around for a minute.
Borderlands like when I was a kid, I feel like.
Yeah. Still
not a
didn't
little
play it.
kid, but just young. Like, was that was Borderlands? What console was that? Was that like PS3?
I want to say Borderlands 1 was definitely your. Excuse me. Wow. PS3 or Xbox 360 era, and then Borderlands 2 was probably
Because 2 had the red cover, right? I think it was red and like had the guy on the front or whatever.
2 was the dude doing this. And that's why it's like to me it's like some fucking what is it, like edgelord fucking insane clown posse. I don't know. Just like
We're psychos, bro. We're really
Look how
crazy.
fucking crazy we are.
Look how fucking crazy we are, bro.
you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, actually. Yeah, that sums it up very well.
My
Look how
dad
fucking
didn't hug me, bro.
look how fucking crazy we are. Yeah.
Look how fucking crazy we are, bro. Yeah. I'm sure there's a good story there, but they sure are hiding it.
Way to shit on Steven's game.
Hey, Steven of Discord, listen. I need more to go off. I need more to go off of because that cover ain't doing it. That's for sure. Yeah. I don't feel excited about a Borderlands game. Gotta be honest.
Man. Well, Steven, maybe one day, and also maybe not.
Maybe one day. Maybe not. Maybe we'll watch the YouTube playlist of like the cutscenes and
all tied together.
The story. Yeah.
Hey, where kind of in the video game vein, have you continued to play Cyberpunk, or have you paused it, or where are you at on that?
I have paused it, and it's kind of an thing. So I am taking my Xbox on the road with me. That's the thing I've decided to do just for the off hours because I'm going to be there for 4 weeks, and I will have some time to take a knee and play some video games. So it will be coming with me. It's a good game. It's a good game. Yeah. Honestly, it's. I color me surprised. Again, my biggest beef with this game, weirdly, was that it was a role-playing game where you kind of make this character and you pick the clothes to wear and all this stuff, and you can't zoom out and be in third person. That was actually kind of a big deal breaker for me. That hasn't been a big deal playing the game.
Sure.
So I'm kind of at a low point right now with the Takamura character where we're trying to, not as a spoiler alert, but there is a parade with some floats that we are trying to do a thing. And I'm there.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Yeah. That's kind of where I've put a pin in it.
Which feels like a really good point to take a knee, and I know where I'm at. It's a thing where like I can pick it up a week or a month from now even and know where I'm at in the game and not being like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Because that is a finite thing, absolutely. So, a good game, 100%. Like it has my vote. I do want to see it through and I want to finish it, but I am eager to do that. Hopefully on the road here. So.
Heck yeah. Man, I feel like I've been making a lot of noises into the mic. I just want to say I'm sorry.
Me too. I'm a little burpy tonight. This last one we got is another one from our good friend Padre Baplo. Padre Baplo, our friend from Australia. We're gonna play this. Obviously, Cody and I are gonna play this on our distant ends, but you will hear this in the final product. So yeah, let's play the audio message from Padre Baplo.
Hey boys, big fan of the podcast. Josh, Cody, you boys are fucking killing it. Good job, firstly, foremostly. Now, I know both of you two guys are metal enjoyers. Probably Josh more so is into the kind of metal that I like, but I think Cody as well. So my question to you two legends, alright? You're listening to a fucking meaty, girthy song, like a hardcore song. There's a breakdown. You can taste the breakdown that's coming in. What is your favorite breakdown call out? Are you like big fans, or do you want like a big, deep, like ones and zeros, crash cymbals kind of thing? Or do you like an interesting like call out to a breakdown? Because, you know, I've heard a few, you know, most notably I think it's Knocked Loose's Deep in the Willow, or Everything Is Quiet Now. Just like knocked loose, motherfucker, like stuff like that. I don't know. I want your thoughts on that. And, alrighty, boys, be good. If you can't be good, at least be good at it. All right. Cheers.
I'll let Josh
be
answer
good.
first, but I would like to defend my metaldom over here. Josh got me into it, but I'm fucking lockstep with him, so let that be known.
Yeah. I want to let it be known. Yeah, Cody is there's very few metal opinions that we do not share. But yes, absolutely. And I love that last little zinger of if you're not going to be good, be good at it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a very Australian thing to say. I personally, I love a good breakdown. We love the heavies. We love the heavies here. I love a good breakdown that is that has a swell up to about a 4 count before the breakdown is going to start. So like a, and then we used to call them dinosaur vocals. A lot of people call them like whatever, demon vocals or whatever. But you have the high, like the and the low overlapped. So you get the kind of like I don't know. It's kind of hard to do that.
To do two at once.
to do, but you get kind of the dino vocals of the maybe whatever. It's going to be like the chant of the breakdown or whatever, but like it's kind of a swell into the breakdown proper. That to me is a really good like it's a good precursor and or segue into a breakdown. So you get the swell like the or whatever it's going to be. But that to me is good. That's good timing. That's good. It's rarely a time where that's not going to be a good formula to follow, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I definitely can't break one down quite that good. Left to Suffer does a cool one where they go, ooh, like that, versus like a blah or a scream, but it's like a ooh. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. When you were doing some of those noises, it was not coming through on the mic, so I don't even know if you can hear that. We've discovered that too high or too low, and it like cuts off the fucking thing. But there's also this isn't like on the recorded track on the album or whatever, but the Acacia Strain has this live YouTube video that I go back to over and over.
Yeah.
And right before one of the breakdowns, he goes, "Fuck this place up." And then it fucking drops, dude. And like,
and very like not hardcore like voicing. Like it's very like a guy who's like he might as well be saying, "Hey, clean this place up." Hey,
dude,
pick this mess up. Like,
yeah, it's that snippet of him. Fuck this place up is like ingrained in my brain, and I fucking.
Yeah.
I go through my day sometimes just like hearing that little snippet in my head. Maybe I'll go find it and put it in here, but it's really cool.
I will say as a last caveat to this, and I'm really proud of this. I did finally persuade Cody to jump on the Kubla Khan, Texas train. Finally,
He did. He did.
They have so many good videos of them. It's not even. They're more like, as Cody would say, it's an interstitial. But they have so many good, like, hey, fuck this place up, call outs that are like span from like, hey, I want you to find someone and turn them into guacamole and tell me what it tastes like. So many just odd things. Those are some of my favorite like live things, are like just like it's like frontmen being just bizarre as hell before just a nasty fucking breakdown. Just be like, hey, shake your fucking ass, let's go, or something.
Right. I do like kind of it's a little bit different than your standard hard breakdown. But goddamn, what's that band out of Russia? Slaughter to Prevail.
Slaughter to Prevail, yeah.
They have a song. I've actually talked about this song. Demolisher. So the breakdown is almost silent. So it's got the digga-da, and then and it's just silence. And in the background, you have that like high pitched, like building noise in the background. But it's like a few chugs and then just like silence with the crasher. I don't know what that is on the drums, but it's kind of like less is more on that. It's not fast. It's not.
It's the dynamic, like up here, way down here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. That's got a really, really cool breakdown.
One last shout out for Spite's dedication to the flesh, where they have the final breakdown is like, it's like dun, 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 and then there's like, it's like a hair dryer. I don't know what it is. That's like, I don't know. I'm not doing a good. Go look up "Dedication to the Flesh" by Spite. You'll understand what I mean. It does sound like a hairdryer, but as also it goes hard as fuck. So
it very well could be. Like knowing how just people make random noises in the studio, like it could be.
Yeah. But great question from Padre Boplo. Hey, if you want to ask us a question and have it featured on the podcast, join our Discord. We're going to link to that. It is the Hardpoint Discord. We'll have a link to that in our YouTube and on our Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that stuff. Hey, jump in there. We have a specific channel that is called hashtag questions for the podcast, or hashtag questions for podcast. Excuse me. Jump in there. You can leave us a written or an audio, and we will get it on the show. And if it's poignant, salient enough, we'll might air it out on the
you might get read. And I fixed a Discord link because somebody pointed it out to me, and thank you for doing so, that the first link that I posted in our description expired. And so I had to create a new link that would not expire. I had to like set it to do that. I didn't know that. So I fixed the link. So if you tried before and it was expired, they're all good to go now.
We are learning. We're growing every day. So it's all the little stuff. Hey, we didn't do it at the top of the episode, but here at the end, I will remind everyone that if you enjoyed what you heard, if you enjoyed what you saw, if you are watching our video component, hey, please please subscribe, turn on the little ding-a-ling-a-ling, turn on the little bell so you get notifications whenever we post anything. I'm not trying to, reach too far forward here, but some of the stuff that you might get alerted for might not just be podcasts. We're looking at doing some straight up, just some fun YouTube video type stuff. Also our shorts that we post for some clips if you prefer to have little bites instead of a whole candy bar. That's the thing we can do. But yeah, make sure to hit those. If you're on our audio component, write us a review if you haven't already. Let us know what you think of the show. Constructive criticism always will be welcome. That's true now. That's true years from now when we've ascended to Joe Rogan levels of prominent.
We're on the
I'm just
way.
kidding. Yeah, we're on the way. Yeah. But hey, I feel in summary, I feel very hopeful for 2024, man. I'm glad you're out here with me.
Yeah, me too, man. It's gonna be good. Good kickoff to the new year. And the next 4 weeks, bear with us. We're gonna try and put the same quality the same standard of quality out there with Josh on the road. But kind of realize that, he's not at his home base, so we're gonna do the best we can.
Yeah. So if there's like a Chinese takeout box in the shot, don't miss me with that criticism. I don't want to hear that. I'm just kidding. Hey, thank you guys for supporting the show and for everything you do for us. I've been Josh.
I've been Cody.
And we will see you on the flippy. May you be bad jab blessed.
Blessed.
Oh, in the name of the Bahad, blessed. Look at this. See you on the flippy.
Bye.
Look at it. Bye. Look at that thing.
See ya.
See ya.